Hello friends, we start with our next topic known as KCL and KVL analysis. If you have not subscribed, comment and like my channel, please do it, because once you subscribe my channel, it will be easy for you to go through my all videos. The link for previous videos already mentioned in my description box. Please go through it and try to understand all previous videos. We start with our topic known as KCL and KVL analysis. So be focused and try to understand the concepts of KCL and KVL. Okay, so we start with our topic. We start with our next topic, that is known as KCL and KVL analysis. Previously in my video we have covered our first topic. We have seen some problem also, but major problem with different type of crux we have now going to see in KCL and KVL analysis. So we directly start with the KCL and KVL analysis. Yes, KCL analysis. First we will talk about the KCL. KCL is also known as nodal analysis. Please keep in mind, KCL is also known as nodal analysis. KCL means Kirchhoff's, I will write here also, it is Kirchhoff's current law. Okay, this is also known as nodal analysis. It follow the concept of conservation of charges. Very important thing. It follow the concept of conservation of charges. So we are starting with the KCL, that is Kirchhoff's current law. It is also known as nodal analysis. It is also known as conservation of charges, and one more term is coming here, is known as super node. Okay, so these are the 4 points we will see in under the KCL topic. Now come to the KVL topic. What we are going to see, it is known as Kirchhoff's voltage law. Okay, it is also known as mesh analysis. It is also known as mesh analysis. Okay, and it follow the concept of conservation of energy. Just keep in mind. And one more important term which we will discuss during the problem solving session, that is known as super mesh. The concepts of KCL and KVL. Okay, we start with KCL. Okay, so what is Kirchhoff's current law? As I said earlier, it is known as nodal analysis. It means we will talk about the word known as node. What it is basically? Node. What is node? First of all, please see this concept. When more number of branches used to connect, I mean more than one number of branches used to connect at a point, we call that point as node. This we will see in our network topology session, which is our last session. So here we will discuss about all the concept of branches, nodes, and there are a lot of specific terms are there. But for the time being, you just remember, when more than two branches connect to a point, that point is known as node. Okay, so we call this point as node. So for the time being, this node is now connected with a branch to here. This is what? This is known as ground. What we call it as ground. So this is a node, this is a ground. We always used to follow a concept that the node is always at higher potential than the ground. You know, we'll take ground as a zero potential, or you can call it as a negative potential. So this is the concept of node. Node is always representing this as a point which is at some higher potential than the ground. So we call it as positive, this we call it as negative. Okay, so this you just keep in your mind, the concept of ground. Now when we come to the nodal analysis, the statement of KCL. KCL states that the algebraic sum of current at any node is 0. Very important thing, the algebraic sum of current. If I specifically write this statement, then summation of I equal to 1 to n is 0. Very important equation. Okay, so here this is a small n. Okay, so here n equal to 1 to capital N, In is equal to 0. So that means if I just open this, so I1 I2 plus up to dash 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 In is what? 0. So we call it as the algebraic sum. Why we are calling it as algebraic sum? Because we are interested in the sign convention of the current. That's why we are calling it as algebraic sum, not the simple sum. So the algebraic sum of current when goes to 0, basically this is a concept of Kirchhoff's current law at a certain node. So now we try to understand what is this meaning of algebraic sum. If I take this node, say this is a node N, if I call this as a node N, and there are certain branches coming to this node. Okay, there are certain branches which is coming to this node. Say this is a current I1, this is a current I2, this is a current I3, this is a current I4, this is a current I5. Here this is a node where different currents are coming and going with the help of these branches. So as per the concept of KCL, which states that the algebraic sum of current at a node is 0, it means if you find the algebraic sum of current at this node, that should be 0. So according to this concept, just one important thing you always keep in your mind, if these are the two nodes, in one node the current is coming out and in another node the current is towards the node. Okay, it is leaving the node, it is towards the node. I will call it as N1 and 2. Very important concept, just remember. Okay, say this is a current I1 which is leaving the node, and say this is current I2 which is entering the node. So as per our general sign convention, we always consider that the current which is coming out from the node, we take it as a positive. Similarly, the current which is going towards the node, we take it as negative. So just keep in your mind, whenever the current is coming out from the node, we take it as positive, that is positive sign convention, and whenever the current is towards the node, we take it as a negative sign convention. So these are the two important pillars when we are going for nodal analysis. So again we come to here, if you find as per this sign convention, this is a current which is coming towards the node, this is a current which is going out from the node. So as per is minus of I1, yes, plus of I2, okay, again minus of I3, okay, then plus of I4, okay, and then minus of I5, that should be 0. So this is a equation for this node N. This is the equation. Okay, once again I am explaining you, this current I1 is coming towards the node, that's why we will take it as minus of I1. This current is I2 going out from the node, we will take it as positive. I3 again coming towards the node, minus of I3. I4 is going out from the node, we will take it as positive. Similarly I5 which is coming towards the node, it is minus of I5. So the algebraic sum of current is 0. You can easily find the current, voltage, resistance, whatever the quantity you have to find using the concept of nodal analysis. This is all about the nodal analysis. Now we will see one problem and we will see how the current will be found. Now let us consider this circuit, this network, where it is mentioned that these are the two nodes N1 and N2. Okay, you will find there are more than one branches are connecting here. This is also a node, this is also a node, but we are not interested about this node because the branches are common to each other. But here if you find, the node is basically what, when the current divides, here the current divides. See, if I call this as a node, so there is no issue. Yes, the two branches are going to be connected, but the current is common in these branches. But when you consider this node, here the current divide. Why? Because more than two branches are coming here. Okay, so now with the help of nodal analysis, one can able to find the voltage V1 and V2. One can able to find the voltage V1 and V2 at these nodes. Okay. This voltage, yes, it is V1. This voltage, yes, it is V2. So there are two voltages V1 and V2, and you have to find V1, V2 with the help of nodal analysis. Here I will just write the equations for your understanding. In later course, we will solve the nodal analysis with the help of our numerical problems. Okay, so we will just understand the basics of nodal. So if I consider this node, once again I am drawing this. So when we apply a nodal analysis on the nodes N1 and N2, I call the voltage here is V1 and V2. So as I said, what we will do in finding out the nodal analysis, we will consider that when we consider this node, we consider that this node is at higher potential. So once this node is at higher potential, that means the arbitrary current will come out from this node. Okay, this is just a consideration. What I am saying, if I consider this node is at higher potential, so these three current will coming out from this node. So for the time being, if I consider this current is IA, IB and IC, so as per nodal analysis, IA plus IB plus IC is what? It is 0. Yes, as per the sign convention, IA plus IB plus IC is what? It is 0. Okay, so we have to find basically the value of IA, IB and IC. If you see the value of IA, this is the current. If you find this current is what? I, but the direction is changed. So you can write here is minus of I. Yes, the value of IA is what? It is what? Minus of I. If you talk about the current IB, so what is the current? This current is basically the voltage difference present in this branch divided by the particular resistance. Okay, V is equal to IR. V is equal to IR. I will write here V is equal to IR. So I is what? That is V by R. I is what? That is V by R. So yes, what is the current here? The difference of voltage divided by the resistance. Now you will ask how we find the difference of voltage. So as I said earlier that whenever we are considering this node, we consider that this node is at higher potential. So whenever the node is at higher potential, it means here it is and the value of V1 is greater than the value of V2, just for a consideration. I will explain you through this here. Just see here. If I say this is V1, so definitely this is in this manner. If I say it is V2, definitely it is in this manner. Here is the current R1 and this is your current IB. Okay, so what happens when you are considering this voltage V1 is at higher potential and you find the value of current IB, so it is what? It is basically the difference of this voltage. The difference of this voltage is what? V1 minus V2 upon R1. Now how come V1 minus V2? See, when you are going from minus to plus, this we will cover in KVL also, but for the timing I will explain here. There is a sign convention known as plus minus. Okay. When you going from plus to minus, it means there is a fall in the value, so it comes to be negative. When you are going from value from minus to plus, it means there is a rise in the value, that comes to be positive. Okay, just keep in mind, this is a very important concept. Whenever you are going from positive to negative, just see, this is the direction of movement. Plus to minus, it comes to be negative. Minus to plus, it comes to be positive. Enhancement, decrement. Okay, so here also when you are going in this manner, so from here to here, minus to plus, voltage is enhancing V1, so it is plus. When you are going from here to here, it is plus to minus, so it is decreasing. So V1 minus V2, we will find the total voltage divided by the current, that is R1. So this is the value of IB. So I can write here the value of IB is what? The value of IB is V1 minus of V2 upon R1. Very important equation. Similarly, we can write the value of IC. The value of IC. What is the value of IC? Again, this voltage is V1. This is generally at ground potential. Okay, just keep in mind, this in various network it is not available, but you always keep in mind that this negative potential is generally connected to the ground. It is connected to the ground. So whatever the potential here, we will consider it as what? It is like this. So it is at 0 volt. So whatever the voltage you will find in this branch, so in this branch the voltage is what? This is V1. Here the potential is 0, so V1 minus 0, so it comes to be V1 minus of 0 upon R3, that should be equal to 0. That should be equal to 0. So this is your equation. Very important thing, this is your equation for what? IA plus IB plus IC. Okay, so from here we will see that if we have to find the voltage V1, for this we have write a current equation, that is IA plus IB plus IC, that is algebraic sum of current is 0, and once you find the value of IA, that is minus I, which is coming towards the node. If you find the value of IB, it is the difference of potential divided by the resistance, so it comes here. And similarly, the value of IC is the difference of potential and divided by the resistance, it comes here. So this is your equation for when you are talking about node V1. Okay. Now similarly, we will find for the node V2. So again here also I should consider, say, now forget about all this, forget about this. Now I am considering this node. Okay, we are considering this node. So again I am saying, say here is the current IA, here is the current IB, here is the current IC. So as per equation at node N2, you can say IA plus IB plus IC, if it is 0, so the algebraic sum of current is 0, one can find the value of V2 at node N2. Okay, so now we will see the equation. Forget about this. As I said earlier, whenever we are finding the value of node voltage at some particular node, we only take that node and consider that node is at highest potential. Similarly, when we are talking about the node N2, we will consider only this node and we will consider that this node is at higher potential. So one can easily solve the problem. Now come to this node, as I write IA plus IB plus IC, we will find the value of IA. Now what is the value of IA? As we considered V2 is at higher potential, so that comes to be what? It is V2 minus of V1 upon R1. The value of IA plus, now comes to the value of IB. Again the current is flowing. As we have considered the current is flowing in this manner, so what is the value of IB? It is what? The difference of potential in this branch divided by the resistance. So that comes to be V2 minus 0 upon R4. Similarly, plus the value of current IC. Now IC is what? it is the difference of potential. Now here you will find again one more independent voltage source is connected. So once you find the value of IC, so IC is the difference of voltage divided by this resistance. So that comes to be what? That is V2 minus of V divided by R2, that comes to be 0. Very important equation. And this equation is basically the sum of IA, IB and IC. We have just write this equation. Okay, IA plus IB plus IC. IA is what? That is V2 minus V1 upon R1. IB is what? That is V2 minus 0 upon R4. And what is IC? That is V2 minus V upon R2. So now you have two equations, two unknowns. One can able to find the value of V1 and V2. So like that we used to apply the concept of nodal analysis in the circuits. I think most of you understand what is nodal analysis. The more concept we will understand through while we are going through the problem solving sessions. Okay, we will discuss about the Kirchhoff's voltage law. As I said, it is also known as mesh analysis, and I will consider this as a circuit. In KVL, we have seen that the algebraic sum of current at a node is 0. Similarly, Kirchhoff's voltage law states that algebraic sum of voltage in a mesh is 0. Algebraic sum of voltage in a mesh is 0. So with this I can write summation of V I starts 1 to capital N is what? 0. Or you can say V1 plus V2 to Vn is 0. What it is? The algebraic sum. Yes, the very important thing is algebraic sum. So once the algebraic sum of voltage in a mesh is 0, you call the Kirchhoff's voltage law is applicable. So this is a closed path. This is also a closed path. So this closed path is known as mesh, and once we analyze this mesh, we call it as mesh analysis. This closed path is known as mesh, and once we analyze this mesh, we call it as mesh analysis. That's why Kirchhoff's voltage law is also known as mesh analysis. So now we mesh 1 here, this is a mesh 2. So as per the law, the summation of voltage is 0. The summation of voltage in this mesh is 0, and similarly the summation of voltage in this mesh is 0. Here I will consider the direction of current in this fashion. Please keep in mind, I will consider the direction of current in this fashion. Say this current is I1, say this current is I2 for the time being. I am showing the direction of the current. Why? Because in which direction we have to move, that is important. So like that we are moving. Okay, this is just a clockwise direction. So as per the law, if you apply the mesh analysis, as I said earlier, just once again I am repeating it. Whenever you are going from, just see this arrow direction, whenever you are going from minus to plus, it means this is an enhancement. So the voltage comes to be positive. Plus to minus, it means there is a decrement, so we call it as negative. So these are the two sign convention which is specifically used in Kirchhoff's voltage law, and you must have to follow these sign conventions very peculiarly. Okay, so now we apply the mesh analysis here. So when you are going to apply a mesh analysis, that is summation of voltage in a mesh. So first voltage you are getting, we are moving in this fashion. So minus to plus, it is what? V1, and it is what? Positive. Okay, now when we are moving in this fashion, this is a resistance where you are finding one voltage. As I said, we are moving in this fashion, so it is plus to minus drop. You can write it as V of alpha, a voltage V of alpha which is dropped across R1. Since there is one more voltage, that is known as V of gamma, and we are moving in this fashion, so it is plus to minus. Again there is a drop in the voltage, so I can say V gamma, that is to be 0, and this is a KVL equation in this mesh. This is for mesh 1. Okay, Similarly, we'll talk about the mesh 2. Again, we are moving in this fashion. See, in this fashion we are moving. So when we are moving, first we'll get a voltage source. See, the position of the voltage source you can write anywhere, okay? There is no issue. Only you have to identify the sign conventions of each and every voltage source. So when we are moving in this fashion, let's say the voltage first drop across R3 is what? V beta, but it is plus to minus, so you can write it as minus of V beta. Similarly, when you are moving here, again it is plus to minus, that is V2. But when you are moving here, it is minus to plus, so it is V gamma, again that is 0. And this is your next equation for mesh 2. So this is a KVL equation for mesh 1 and KVL equation for mesh 2. Okay, just by repeating my video, you try to understand this concept. Now, for the time being, I am removing this voltage, this voltages across resistance R1, R2, R3 from here, and now we will see here is the two current I1 and I2. See, that is one way of finding out the mesh analysis. Now, another way in which we will find the total voltage in a mesh, which is equal to the voltage drop across the resistance, as I said earlier. So mesh analysis is also applicable in this way also. So again I say this is a mesh 1, this is a mesh 2, and the current flowing is I1 and I2. So KVL state that finding out the total voltage in the mesh. So if you see the total voltage source, total voltage, finding of total voltage means the voltage source which is present. So if you see this mesh, there is only one voltage source, that is known as V1. So V1, since we are moving in this fashion, so minus 2 plus V1 is equal to, is there any voltage source? No, but yes, a resistance and a current is there. So the voltage source present in a mesh is equal to the sum of voltage drop across different resistance as the current flow through them. So V1 is equal to what? R1 into I1. Yes. Similarly, if I talk about resistance R2, because this I1 current is flowing in this branch. But when you talk about this branch, as we are moving in this fashion, so R2 may the current in R2 is what? That is this current I1 and this current I2. And keep in mind, as I said in node analysis, whenever we are talking about this mesh, we will consider that this current is at higher value than this current. So what is the current here? The current here is what? I1 minus of I2. Yes, as per our consideration. So this is our first equation for mesh 1. V1 is equal to R1 I1 plus of R2 into I1 minus of I2. Why? Because I1 minus of I2, it is only we have considered I1 is at higher value. Similarly, when we are applying our equation for mesh 2, so now again you see we are moving in this fashion, so that comes to be minus of V2. Okay, it is plus to minus of V2 is equal to the current flowing in the resistance R3 is what? That is I2 plus R2 into the current flowing in resistance what? Since we are moving in this mesh, so we will consider I2 as at higher value, so that comes to be I2 minus of I1. This is your second equation. So this is your second equation for this mesh. Okay, so these two equations are here. This is for mesh 1 in which we have seen the equation, and this is for mesh 2. Okay, so with this your KCL and KVL analysis is finished. We will directly come to the concepts of super node and super mesh, and then we move to the problems. Okay. First we will talk about super node. As I said, node is of two types. this is first type, this is second type. Here if you see these two nodes, there is a voltage source present between these two nodes, but these two nodes are again connected to some voltage source further. Say it is V1, say it is V2. So if you see, these two nodes are not connected to the ground. So we will call these two nodes as non-referenced node. Very important thing. These two nodes are known as non-referenced node. It means this node is not connected to ground. Okay. Non-reference node. Similarly, if you talk about this node, it is a reference node. Why? Because it is connected to ground. Okay. So there are two properties of node. One, in which the nodes are further connected to some voltage source in the network. So these two nodes are not called as a reference node. It is known as a non-referenced node. So our concept of supernode comes when there are two nodes, say this is V1, this is V2, say this is V. So there are two nodes which are non-referenced in nature, which are, again I say, non-referenced in nature. Non-referenced in nature. In this condition, one can not able to find current here. Yes, one cannot able to find the current here. Why? Because there is no presence of resistance. So in such type of condition, it is difficult to find the value of current and sometimes the different value of voltages also. So this specific condition are known as supernode. This is why we call it as concept of supernode. It is only applicable when there are a two non-reference node and a voltage source or a multiple voltage source are connected between this. Okay. So whenever we have to solve the concept of non-reference node, we will apply the concept of KCL and KVL simultaneously at both the node, and one can find the solution. How we will apply that we will see directly in the problem, because here it is not possible to explain, but just keep in your mind, for solving out the concept of supernode, we will simultaneously apply KCL and KVL at both the node and one can solve this supernode. Okay. So this is all about the supernode. Just keep in mind, it is only applicable for non-referenced node, not for referenced node. Okay. This is supernode. There is a concept known as super mesh. What happened? Now we are talking about the concept of super mesh. Now super mesh, what happened in such type of network situation? It is not possible to apply the loop here. Why? It is because there is a presence of current source. So until unless a voltage is given across this current source, you can easily, once the current the value of voltage is given across the current source, you can easily find the value using KVL. But once there is no voltage given across this current source, under that condition you cannot able to apply the mesh analysis. Okay, because you don't know the value of voltage. So finally one can say, when you don't know the value of voltage across this branch, when you don't know the value of voltage across this branch, it is not possible to apply a mesh analysis. in such type of circumstances, we apply our loop in this fashion. We apply our loop in this fashion, leaving this branch. And once you leave this branch, this concept is known as super mesh. What we call it as super mesh. I think you understand the concept of super mesh. Whenever there is a current branch, either it is a dependent source or is an independent source. Similarly, it is applicable in KCL also. Okay, KCL and KVL both. So just keep in your mind, whenever there is a current source present, it is not possible to apply a mesh analysis because of we are not knowing the exact value of voltage across this branch. So under this circumstances, what we will do, we will directly apply a mesh analysis leaving this branch. This concept is known as super mesh. Okay, so I think you understand the basics of super mesh. Okay, so now this is all about in KCL and KVL. Now we ahead with the various type of problems which came in GATE also and engineering services and other PSCs also. One by one we will go through those problems and we will solve it and we will understand what are the basic concepts.